the quiet one.
I'm the star of the show.
And I'm Ghetto.
And we are
Murked in the Midwest. Welcome back, everybody. This is a new episode in our season 3 Lovers Quarrel. Secret lovers.
Are you jilted? Are you feeling angry about your love?
Yes, jilted lovers. Isn't
That's fun.
y'all know there's plenty of stories out there that match that title.
Yeah, you probably know somebody.
You're probably in one.
Shots fired.
Are you gonna be on another episode?
Please don't be on the episode.
On this week of
You can be jilted, but don't kill them. Just
walk away. Slash the tires.
Right. They said they wanted to be over. You be like, let me show you how over it is. Bye.
This is what you do. You slash their tires.
3 of them, not 4.
You slash all 4. But listen, this is what you do. You grab a knife and you slash 3 of them with your right hand, or whichever hand is your dominant one. Then with the 4th one, you grab an entirely different knife and do it with your left hand. So then when they go to try and do file it with the insurance is gonna look at it like, you did this 4th one yourself because it's different than the other 3. Now they in jail for insurance fraud.
Yes, and also make sure that when you are slashing the tires, you want to get the sidewall, but you want to stab turn so they can't repair the tires.
Right.
We don't want to make it easy for them.
No.
Oh.
And that's why she's the quiet one. Alright. But as always, if you came for a podcast that gets straight to the point, that goes ahead and give you all the facts and nothing else, that's not us. So that's okay. Exit stage left. But if you love us, we love you, and we are so excited for you to be here for this episode, and we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. So I know most of the cases we covered are cases that have been, they were years ago. There's been a closing to it. We are able to give everything.
Who did it? Where they at? Are they still there?
What were they? Sentences, all that good stuff. Yeah. This case does not do that because it is still an open case. And actually, the reason I found out about it is that recently, along my Facebook page, the girl's sister posted a video, because they're still trying to get attention to it, because they still are trying to figure out what happened to their daughter, sister, mother. So I'll go ahead and get right into it. So this is about Najah Ferrell. And Najah Ferrell, she was what they would say she was the cornerstone of her family. She was in a long-term relationship. She was actually engaged to be married. She had 2 children. And so what she liked to do in her free time was she enjoyed spending time with her children as well as her nieces and nephews. She always had a group of kids with her. And that's when she was her happiest. She actually decided to become a foster parent to 3 additional children outside of her 2 sons. She was a stay-at-home mom for her children when they were younger, but she had recently gotten a new job at Panera Bread to, just bring in a little bit of income and a schedule that worked around the kids' school activities. So nothing that would take her away from the kids too much, but just something to bring a little bit more money. Yeah.
Even up there do open early, y'all.
Yeah.
And thank you for making us fresh bread. We appreciate you.
I wish they would bring back those the supercharged lemonades where people don't know how to act. They like to think it's pop, so they like to drink all of that lemonade, and it's an energy drink.
Their green tea is phenomenal. So they're really nice.
I am gonna go and get my broccoli cheddar soup.
Oh, for sure.
In a bread bowl.
Honey, and the tomato basil.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys got it going on there. We enjoy it.
Now they could add a little bit more seasoning to their chili.
Yeah, that definitely. I agree.
Grilled cheese is fire too.
Yeah, the grilled cheese is fire, but yeah, they chili be kind of like. It's like they didn't season the meat.
So then you have to throw a little
bit.
In there,
Yep.
a little salt.
Red pepper flakes, a few things. Yeah. But other than that, it's delicious.
Yeah.
This episode is sponsored as not.
If y'all want to sponsor us,
email us.
Email us. Let us know what commercial we need to do because we will sell it.
We will sell it. Exactly. All right. So, as you said, the Panera Bread does open early, and so it actually required her to be there around 5 a.m. And she was required to be there 5 a.m. On this day, and she actually went missing. So she never showed up to her new job orientation, which was in March of 2019. And so, okay, so this is what happened. So she goes missing, and they start the search, right? They are, they're trying to find her car.
No, I think I kind of remember hearing about this.
Yeah.
She went missing.
Cause it was crazy. Like the police didn't do.
I feel like the initial to her missing though, there was search efforts, like the community hospital, right?
Yep. And so they were searching, and so basically, what happened was they started looking, trying to find her car and stuff like that. The reason why I say that they really didn't do too much is because it took them forever to find her car when her car was literally in a shopping center like less than a mile away of the job she was about to start.
So, wait.
Wait, this happened in Indy, right?
It was like Avon, Indy, yeah.
So she's in a suburb of Indy. Oh, you know what we didn't do? We didn't tell them about Avon and all the surrounding areas.
Oh, okay, yes.
Here's a map. Okay, real quick, just for people who are not from Indiana.
Get mad.
Map.
That are not from Indiana and not familiar with the Circle City, because that's what we call Indianapolis.
Yes, because it is one
circle.
Huge circle.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere you
Like
go,
an
it's going
ass.
to take you 32 minutes to get there.
Yes, and so when you think of Indianapolis, the downtown area, which is a historic area, that is basically city center, and then you have all these neighborhoods that pop up around that are Indianapolis proper.
Fishers.
Well, the neighborhoods that are Indianapolis proper, and then you come to the suburbs. So you have Fisher, Carmel, Avon,
Castleton.
yeah, Castleton, and those are all surrounding. Avon is going to be more north in comparison to the city because it's like northwest on the side of Indianapolis. But you can still, like she said, reach it within, in traffic, about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So her
she
her
was-
store that she was working at.
She lives in Avon. The Panera Bread she was working at was like in the northwest side of Indianapolis. So, if you're familiar with, are you familiar with like the pyramids in Indianapolis? The 3 tall buildings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like where the border of Carmel to Indianapolis is. Over there where that Studio Movie Grill is.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so that's where her car was found.
Okay. So she.
And the
wasn't
Panera
home.
Bread was in that area, less than a mile away from there. But it took them, I want to say, and I'll double check, but it took them like a week to find her car.
It took them a week to search a 1 mile square radius.
That's Indianapolis Police Department for you.
So,
Like they
Carmel,
really
Avon,
haven't-
all of that.
And this is not shade, but it just does make you wonder, like, what kind of searching were you doing? If you put an APB out for the car, then that means that all of your police officers, and you know that there are mall cops, there are cars that surveil, like plazas.
Way to go, Paul Blart.
But they surveil that stuff. Like, they have to drive around, and if they have an APB for this car, how hard is it to find something that's a mile away?
yeah, it took them longer than necessary.
I could see a few days, maybe.
Yeah. But-
1 or 2.
But if you're looking for a missing person and they were supposed to show up to this job, you would think that that's the first place you're going to check.
Is the surrounding area.
Yeah, it's the surrounding area.
Lord have mercy.
So,
Do better if I come up missing, please.
please.
I swear to God, if I ever go missing, y'all better tear the city upside down. I'm talking about everywhere. Places that I frequent, people like that you know that I might have a possible connection with, that I hang out with. Because I'm not going to hang out with people I'm not like super close with.
Well,
Like,
I feel like this is just a
Come question me.
question her, question my sister, question her, question Ashley,
yeah.
seeing They know.
It's a handful of people to question because I'll hang around
and they'll tell you
like
what's
these
been up, who I've been talking to, and especially being that I am dating.
Yes.
Like
my friends know.
The
License
people
plate, the phone number, the social media account.
Yep, so you can get into it. And I have my murder book ready from me listening to Crime Junkie. Like, do you guys have a murder book?
No.
Okay, so I didn't have a murder book per se, but I have something written down. So I have my will and stuff wrote down. But I had a letter inside of that packet that basically said that if there under any circumstance, if I happen to be murdered, this is the possible person that and y'all know who it would have been. But also, under no circumstance am I a suicidal person. If I happen to end up in jail again, anything like that. No, I'm not suicidal. No, I'm not this, that, and the third. But if something happened to me in the hands of another person, this who it possibly could be.
So your murder book, though, is where you literally write down your passwords. So the whole point of it is, a lot of times in missing person cases, what happens is the clues are actually in the things that we use and do daily. Like from our social media, from our checking accounts, from our phone records. And a lot of times it takes police a few days, if not weeks, to be able to gain access to our information because they have to subpoena the records from either your bank or your telephone company. But if you have a book, if you go missing, that you leave entrusted to people that you know you can trust, like y'all or my sister or my mom, you write down your passwords for your social media, you write down your passwords for your checking account, like being able to log into your app. And that way they can see where your last purchases were.
That's smart.
Where your last communications were, who you were talking to, that kind of stuff. And that I actually learned from Crime Junkie. I love listening to stuff.
Shout out to y'all.
Yes, Crime Junkie is still on. But I have a
that's
book like
smart. That now I feel like now in this day and age, especially like it's so many people that's going missing. Like that's good to have.
They have no clue where to even start.
That's so good to have. Like that type of thing, I will probably like put in a particular location, but I will also tell you in this particular location, don't go looking at other shit in my room. Stop!
I'm looking at everything.
Don't go in my drawer.
The third drawer.
Don't
go through my photo album.
Just go in the drawer and then get one like it. You'll be happy. I promise. You'll love it.
Don't go in my nightstand.
I'm like, really?
Like my dad, go on my mattress, reach to the left, reach to the right, something gonna vibrate, get the hell out you. Don't do it. So no, that's smart.
He said,
Yeah.
That's smart to have because it's like you said, people just never know. Like, and like we in this day and age, having 50,000 passwords. Like, if anything, you would gain the biggest like insight or passwords. And if people got I know y'all don't use iPhones. Sorry, but anybody can log into iCloud. Like if I write that down, like my iCloud email is this.
The same thing with Samsung. We have the same.
Yeah, you know them Apple users. They be thinking they special.
Right?
Yeah, we are VIP.
My emergency contact.
The only difference is that we do have phones within phones. So like it's important not to just put down your phone code, but for the Knox part too, because we have another phone inside our phone where you can protect.
Like, that second one, my dog got that shit.
But it's good because it protects like your bank information from people hacking it and stuff. But you just never can be too safe because, like you said, in this day and age, it is like the most random things. Like a lot of times when you hear these stories, family members are just caught off guard. Like they would never believe that anything like this would happen to their family member. Like it's not the same as when you see a person and they go through trauma every day and they say they're in a domestic violence.
Yeah, they look at it like this was another day. This was just a random day. This is supposed to be like any other day. You know?
It isn't like something that's reoccurring and always happening. So it is a good thing to just have on hand. I'll see if I can find the link from how they said to set it up.
Okay. Yeah.
Share that too.
So that was basically what happened is that she had got up for work, and so she actually had told her fiance to get the kids out because she had to go into work.
Okay.
And at least that's what her mother, Paula, stated. He said that's the last time that he had saw her. And so as it turned out, that was the last time anyone saw her. She was 30 years old. She never made it to work. And so they grew, they were worried later that day when they found out that she didn't pick up her kids from school. And like we already said,
that's really not normal.
Yeah.
Maybe missed work, like fuck this job.
I mean, because they more than likely they wouldn't have known that she had missed work,
Because it was new.
Yeah, so she probably got her phone put up, new orientation, this, that, and that, or whatever. It's not until we're getting a call from the school,
Like,
ain't nobody here to pick up the kids, and we like, wait a minute.
Look,
Najah would never.
She's supposed to pick them up.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know that if she couldn't, she would have called her fiance, called her mom,
call somebody
to tell them I need somebody to pick up my children.
Yeah, so they end up reporting her missing to the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department. But because they thought something had happened to Najah while she was at work, because they thought something had happened to her while she was at work in Indianapolis. But when they discovered that she never made it to work, that's when it was transferred to the Avon Police Department. And so I guess that could play a part into why it took them so long to find her car, because they found out she never actually made it to work. And so then they immediately started searching the Avon area and not the Indianapolis area where.
Now that makes more sense.
Yeah.
And that actually makes me feel a little bit better, because not better because this woman is missing, and you feel for the family, but at least it does take that thought of the police are just straight up negligent away.
Yeah. So.
And then you wonder too, like, how did they communicate that? Like, yeah, they called them up and they said, hey, we have this woman that's missing, but she never made it to work. Did they share all the stuff that they knew when they did make that phone call? Like, did they say?
It doesn't. Nope. It does say that Avon they did start their investigation immediately Monday evening. And so they started trying to connect with cell phone providers, and they submitted several search warrants, just trying to get everything going. The next day they interviewed neighbors, friends, family, and they also interviewed her fiance, who, as we said, was the last person to see her. And
her fiance been together?
I'm not sure. They were engaged, but they didn't have an actual date set for the wedding.
Okay.
And I'll give you more on that later. So, because there was no information to suggest that there was any foul play, even though for her to be gone this long was, unexplained, unplanned, they thought it was a possibility, but there was nothing to actually say.
Okay.
Foul play.
No arguments, no previous incidents reported.
Exactly.
Were all her children with the fiance, or was from a previous relationship?
No, were they all? So
I know you said the foster
3
children.
were foster. 1, I believe, was from a previous, and 1 was his.
Mm-hmm. So were they fostered together, or were they fostered before?
She fostered 3 of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And so they, as we said, her car had been missing. It was a 2018 black Nissan Altima. And so, excuse me. So they eventually did an aerial search next to a local highway. Because they had found a piece of personal property of hers found next to the highway. And at this point, they hadn't detailed as to what it was that they found, but they just confirmed that it was hers.
Okay.
So this was early on, and they're hey, if you have any tips, anything like that, please give us a call, all that good stuff. So we move further in to the search. They're continuing to look, and they're not getting anything. They're not able to find her. As I said, they had, they did the search. It was aerial and ground searches. It was 2 weeks later. Okay. It was almost 2 weeks later that they found her car.
Yeah, that's too long.
And it was discovered in a shopping center near her job. And it was after that construction workers contacted the police after they found some random papers and personal items near I-465 and Lafayette Road in Indianapolis. So the media never reported what items were found. But her sister and this is a correction. Her sister, Jaleesa, disclosed that it was ID and bank cards that actually belonged to Najah. Okay. So it wasn't her sister's bank card; it belonged to Najah. Okay. So this was in March of 2019. Then a month later, in April, police got a call from the Crown Point Police Department in Indiana, which is about 2 hours away. Two fishermen at a pond off I-65 and 109th Avenue had discovered human remains. It was a severed foot pulled from the pond with a tattoo matching Najah's. It was her name, and no other remains were found.
I'm sorry, but could you imagine? You're minding your business. You know, fishers, I like to fish, so we like to get up early in the morning. You don't want to be out when the sun is blazing in the middle of the day trying to fish. Because the fish are moving and active when the water is cooler. And they are more at the top where you're going to be able to get to them when it's cooler. So you're up, you know, start your morning, you pray, you know, got yourself cleaned up, put your clothes on, got the boat going. You one with the Lord out here
talking to your buddy.
Right, talking to your buddy. Y'all talking about things happening, probably having a couple of jokes, and you reel in what you think is about to be a fish.
And it's a foot.
I know personally me, I would be hysterical.
Oh yeah.
There wouldn't even be no calm about it.
I'd probably go in shock.
I would probably be screaming. Yeah. A human foot.
Yeah. No. So, after confirming that the body part did belong to Najah through DNA testing, they launched a thorough search of the pond and surrounding areas, but they did not find any additional clues. And since then, there has not been any new information or breakthroughs in her case. So,
that's fucking crazy.
We are now at 5 years. Now that we've just gotten past, March, we're at 5 years of this being unsolved. And the last thing, any new news coming up was April. So, y'all know there are people out there like us that like to speculate on what happened.
And there was a lot of speculation when the story came out.
Yep. There was, so there was a woman named Quisola Mims. She was 20. And this was her story. So a head discovered nearly 2 months ago. This was in McKinley Park Lagoon on the southwest side. Was identified as remains belonging to a 20-year-old Chicago mother. They were found September 23rd by a Chicago Park District worker. He found a bag containing a head during a routine cleanup at the park. They did the medical examiner and they released her identity on Wednesday. However, the cause and manner of death had not been determined. And no one was in custody Wednesday night. They tried to develop a timeline of her whereabouts before she went missing. So Rosalind Mims, the victim's mother, said she had contact with her daughter on September 21st. At the time, she was due to start a new job, but didn't show up.
Where was she supposed to start at?
This was in Chicago.
Okay.
2 days later, that's when her head was found. Rosalind said when she saw on TV a police sketch of the remains found in the lagoon, she knew it was her daughter. Could you imagine? They did a police sketch of the severed head.
And she knew it was her child from the sketch.
At the time, Quisola Mims also had an 18-month-old child. And so people were, comparing the two cases. They were like, oh, because that one was never solved. And so they're like, oh, a girl goes missing on her way to work, never shows up, and then a piece of her body is found. So that
and it's not far. So the reason why, another thing that links that is there's not much distance between. Yeah. From Chicago to Indianapolis, it's a 3-hour drive.
Yeah.
To go from Chicago to Indianapolis.
And then because Najah's foot was found in Crown Point.
That means that person is familiar with these areas. Yeah. It may or may not be the same person, but either one of those situations, if it's two different people, those people are familiar. The one, like, say Najah, because she was from Indianapolis, the foot ended up at Crown Point. That person is familiar with Indianapolis, but also familiar with Northwest Indiana, and it really makes you feel like they have to be from here.
Yeah.
Because who even knows about those little fish? Like, I know, I talk to like a lot of my coworkers and stuff, and going from Chicago to here is not that far of a distance. But when I say places like that, I like to go hiking, or I like to go fishing, or I like to go to this beach, and they're like, where is that? Like, because these are things that locals know. It's not what people who just, they live an hour away. There's not stuff that most they
you are familiar with the area.
You're familiar. You have an intimate knowledge of the land and the area. That makes me feel like maybe you're a person who's from here that relocated to Indy, or you're a person that's from Indy but had family here and you spend a lot of time here, or maybe you're a person that is like a delivery driver and you spend a lot of time going back and forth between communities. Or a transient worker or something like that.
Yeah, it's like whatever the reason is, it's like you're familiar with it.
You're familiar with the area. And it's very sad. Now, you said that the sister for Najah has...
She went on Facebook and posted a video giving basically like, a background view of what they know and kind of like what their problems was with the case. So... 1 second. That's her.
Yeah, I remember that photo.
Yeah. And so her sister got on, and you guys can go and find the video on Facebook just in case I miss any information, because I am doing this all from memory. But she got on and she was like, basically, here's what happened. Her sister went missing. And she states that she feels like they didn't ask enough questions to the fiance. Now, I couldn't find the fiance's name. I'm sure she might have mentioned it, but I couldn't find his name. But she did state that basically Najah had just broken off the engagement.
Oh, really?
That's what the sister says, that the engagement was just broken off. Like, I guess they were having a couple of issues, and so they were going to see where it went, and that's probably why they didn't necessarily have a date. So that she gave that little tidbit, but she said that basically the police didn't really look at him. They said she said that they thought he was acting kind of strange. So
that's really odd that they didn't really look at him, and especially if they thought he was acting a little strange. Because generally, the person, your significant other,
and also the last person to see her.
The first person,
right? It's like that's even if they ain't the last person to see. Now, in this case, he was the last person to see her. But even when they're not the last person to see her, they're like always the prime suspect.
Yep. And so basically, they said so her mom had Najah's kids, the 2 boys, and so. The father had called and was like, I want to get my son to spend some time with me. They were looking like, even though they kind of had like this feeling, they were like, well, they've lost their mom. We don't want them to lose both parents. So they're like, okay, so he got both boys. But they had put on one of the boys' tablet, like locate my phone type thing or whatever, and made sure it was fully charged, all that good stuff. So it was like he was supposed to bring him back at a certain time, or like a couple of days later, and he didn't. And so they're calling, he's not answering.
Wait a minute, you got 3 babies. The mother's already missing. You got these kids, you're supposed to bring them back in date and time, and you don't bring them back, and then you're not answering the phone call?
Yeah.
I'm gonna blow this whole shit up.
So they then look at the location on the tablet, and it says that they were in like Atlanta.
What?
So then, they're still
what are they in Atlanta for?
They're still calling, trying to figure out, and then all of a sudden they in Orlando. Now, here's the thing. It was like a week. This was like a week after she went missing. They already had plans that he was supposed to take the kids to Disney World.
I don't give a shit.
Because she was supposed to be going to like Miami on a girl's trip or something like that or whatever.
She's missing.
And so he looked at it like, well, this was already planned. I didn't want to have to tell them we was canceling, and they done also lost their mom. So he
Like,
took
you
them to Disney.
communicate
But
that
yeah,
with the family.
yeah, you don't just take
If you
the.
really want them to still have that experience because you love your kids,
Then
and
I'm
you
sure
want
if
them
you
to
would have
feel as well,
communicated
that
that,
wouldn't have been a problem. Even if they were looking at you sideways a little bit, that probably would have made them look at you less sideways.
yeah. And so, but they were looking at it
So
like,
you
you being real, you really, you moving funny.
Dumb.
But they like, you moving real funny. And so she starts giving a little bit more information. And then so, you know, she says that basically when the foot showed up, like, okay, so basically he was like filing out the insurance and, you know, things like that or whatever, but he couldn't get a payout because there was no confirmation of death.
Because at this point,
She's missing.
technically, let's just be real. I do not mean to be insensitive if any of the family members or people who loved her are listening. Technically, a person can have a foot amputated, and if it is cauterized and you just gonna be alive without a foot.
When they tested the foot, they were able to test and see that it had came from a deceased person.
So that she was already dead prior to the foot being amputated.
And so they're like,
That's wild.
well, wait a minute. Right around the time where you trying to get insurance, but they can't because, you know, they can't prove that she's dead. Now all of a sudden her dead foot shows up, and it just happens to be her foot with her name tattooed on it.
So that we know it's hers.
And so
Where is he? What's his name?
I don't know his name. I've Googled and all that stuff. I can't find his name. I tried to go back to
The old articles. And
yeah.
stuff.
In the old articles, it just mentions him as her fiance. And so I don't know. Like I said, this one is where they are still.
Anyone who's watching this does know, share it with me. 'Cause I just wanna,
We
I
have
wanna
plenty
know
of
if
people
this
that pay
policy
attention to
on
cases and
obituary. Wait a minute. Wait, I know where we can find it, Mary. Hold on. I got you one moment.
That's crazy. Like, I don't even know what to say because I know so many people that actually knew her. But it's just like that. This type of situation sounds personal. You know what I'm saying? Like it sounds like it's definitely somebody she knows or well knew, but it just I don't know.
What was her name? Her full name?
Najah Ferrell.
Najah.
Najah Ferrell. Well, why Lou is looking that up though. So they are asking about anybody that has any tips or anything like that you can call 317-262-TIPS. Or if there's something that I'm missing, because we have plenty of people that watch our show that are just into crime as we are. If there's any information I'm missing, if you knew her, or is there, anything, please let us know, because we'd love to include it on a recap. We're just trying to grab some more attention to this, because, it could be somebody who hadn't seen it, and maybe they,
Right.
or
maybe it'll reach out, people who do listen to it know someone that maybe knows something, and maybe they don't want to say anything because maybe they're afraid.
Yeah.
And maybe this is like your indicator to be bold and to be brave and to come forward with what you may know.
Because
even if
5
you
years
scared.
is a long time.
It is. It's a long time
To not know what happened. Her kids don't know what happened to their mom.
And the mother and her sister.
And they don't know. Like, we have confirmation that she died in the worst way that we could get confirmation, but we still don't know what happened and why. and all of those things that you would want the answer to. And so that was the whole reason for covering this case. So yeah, if you have anything that you'd like to add or you feel like we missed, please, you can either comment below or you can email us at murkedinthemidwest@gmail.com. What's his name? I found a picture of him. I just couldn't find his name.
Do you want to say his name?
Say his name?
Okay. So this is just going back to the paternity test that she had. You said that both of her children were for him, correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
I know one was for sure.
Which one was the one that was for her fiance?
They didn't give the names of the kids.
Okay.
Yeah, mine was.
Well, all I can tell you is the petitioner for this paternity test was Charles Britton. I don't know if his middle name. How would you say? You say Charles and that and Britton. What was the last word that way? Oh, bullshit! He was from freaking Hammond.
For those that don't know, Hammond is up the street and around the corner.
From Crown Point.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Well, that's going to end this week's episode. So please, if you have any information, please reach out to us. We are on all social media platforms. We are on YouTube, of course. So like, subscribe, share this video. You can share any of our audios on Spotify, YouTube Music. What else we on? iHeartRadio, Amazon, Audible. We're literally on everything. So y'all don't have an excuse to miss a single episode. Not one excuse.
And always, if you get behind, because we know that we have lives, jobs, and all that, then just do a little binge.
Yes.
Enjoy. Listen to it again. Listen to it. Have a friend listen with you. We appreciate all of the views,
yes,
all of the listens, all the subscriptions. The comments, I'm going to have to tell y'all. Let me tell you about these comments.
Well, let me lean up.
You better speak nice when you say it, okay? Like, I understand that people want to give feedback.
And that is all fine and dandy.
But y'all be mean as hell.
It's just like...
And I'm saying this as Mary's.
I'm gonna need to say it like Jasmine said, like, we're not going to go to personality attacks, and we're not going to go to... like look attached or nothing like that. Like, if you want to say constructively about something that you think can be brought and can be productive to the actual podcast, fine. But you're not liking how we laugh, go kick rocks. You're not liking it.
Stay on topic, literally, when you got a constructive criticism.
Right.
Like, if you already going off of somebody's personal looks or personality, you already lost.
And
because you don't know neither one of us.
Because we
like,
definitely like us more than we like whatever you say.
And all I gotta say is, like, we finna do a poll. If you think I'm ghetto, comment below.
And I don't care if you think that she ghetto, because she don't leave ghetto between the three of us.
No, but like, really, I just want to know, because I will take it.
No.
But I've never been described as that. So I'm curious. If you feel like I'm ghetto, put a G in the comment. If you feel like Keisha is quiet, put a Q in the comment.
And y'all know I am far from quiet. I am the loudest motherfucker on this podcast.
Yes.
And if you think Lou is dark skinned, put a D in the
Yes.
Oh,
Look, y'all.
do not conflate this woman's ego.
Y'all see how chocolate I'm looking? Because I was in the sun yesterday.
Were you? Cannot tell.
Excuse me. See, that's what
She still look like a sugar cookie.
It's definitely giving like snickerdoodle.
The snickerdoodle has a lot of like cinnamon and whatever on the top. So
yeah,
it's chocolate.
Well, it's not chocolate. We'll say that you're brown.
And that's
pushing it, because you definitely not what he was talking about when he said brown sugar, babe. But we'll say that.
Okay, fine. I'll take it.
So yeah, if you think she's dark skinned, a D. If you think she's quiet, a Q. If you think I'm ghetto, a G. And whoever win,
you just win.
No. Whoever has the most votes, what we doing?
You get to hold the scepter.
Mm.
So, like,
Hey, we should get some guest speakers.
oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if I like people coming to my house though.
They can always grow in the video.
Oh yeah, they can.
Yeah, we can do it with
It
Riverside.
depends on who it is though. Like if it's like Janelle, like she probably, of course she can
We-
come over.
This is it. We will have guests on, but we reserve the right to strike you from the video.
Real quick.
Exactly.
Like,
I will edit you out so quick. There will be a blob
Right.
like covering.
you know
with
what
the
happened?
voice, with the
It'll definitely be Charlie Brown then.
like raw negativity.
So if you want to be a guest,
Be a guest.
comment below.
But just be nice. That's
But
all
like,
I got to say.
Be
Especially if
our
we really
guest.
know you.
Be
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
guest. All right, y'all. Bye.
Goodbye.